going to explore what is that the BMC Service Desk has to offer, what is that as we all who are using BMC Service Desks, what is that the current state we see that it is there, the way it has been used. And what we'll try to build in is a business case for automation. If we take that path of automation, what is that ROI means, and what is the cost of ownership if one goes on that path of doing automation, and how can you get the ROI faster. So we'll try to understand that. Then we'll see, we as Vyom Labs, we have built an add-on product called AutomationEdge, and how it works and what it offers. We'll try to understand common use cases which AutomationEdge helps you automate. We'll see a demo. We'll take a few of the service desks and demo those BMC service desk software, and how AutomationEdge integrates with them, and how end-to-end use cases are automated. You'll be able to see that, and Ankita will walk us through that, and we'll have a question and answer. So you can type in questions. There is a chat window available anytime during the presentation, and we'll try to go through all your questions towards the end of this presentation. So what we see is that when you make customers wait, you are basically frustrating them, and that frustration will basically have impact in terms of the satisfaction. It will have impact in terms of the business. So there is a direct correlation between the amount of time which you take to resolve a ticket or user request and the customer satisfaction. So more time you take in resolving certain things, the tickets, it will basically lower the customer satisfaction. That's been kind of observed. And in this age where we talk about digital initiatives and digital organizations, where we are talking about reaching out to the end users and customers of a company faster and providing all digital services, you don't want your internal users, the business users, feeling frustrated that when they have to deliver as far as the organization customers are concerned, but their hands are tied because IT is not able to help them get their ticket resolved. So there is a challenge here. And when we look at what BMC Service Desk software as BMC, they have different options for different size of customers and different needs of the customer. Based on that, one can choose to kind of use different BMC service desk softwares or ITSM softwares, right from Remedy ITSM for larger customers who have a complex business requirements, and they want is a CMDB very rich, and are basically leveraging that CMDB, and then based on that have integrated systems, monitoring systems or application dependency maps, and service impact and the remedy systems and all this kind of BSM. So then Remedy ITSM is what customers will choose. Remedy Force, SaaS offering, and lightweight, and all the advantages of cloud software you get. Then on-prem, if you are really not looking for Remedy ITSM and a complex CMDB and customizations and integrations, so footprints will basically fulfill the needs. And then for customers who are basically looking for basic incident management and basic problem management, they might choose Trackit. So what we have done is we have developed this AutomationEdge, which can work and test it to work with all the service desk softwares that BMC has. So so we have basically poll coming up here.
Yeah, so we have a poll here. So what kind of automation exists in your organization for supporting users?
So since we are on the topic of automation, so we are trying to understand the kind of automation that you would have achieved in the current setup. So what we see is that mostly the automation is in silos or no automation as such. So we have only 40% users talking about, the attendees here talking about they have automation tied to service desk. So this is a good topic for all of us. In that case, is what we are talking about is the service desk and automation linked to that. So when we have this as automation is where the current state is, we see that only 14% of us here are talking about some level of service desk automation. What is the state of IT? So obviously, if you are a BMC customer, so a service desk customer, you have implemented that solution. The operating procedure is documented, which comes along with the tool, otherwise as well. And incidents and service requests are resolved manually because there is no automation there, which you would have put. And even if there is automation, it is limited and it is kind of scattered. So all the business users are not getting benefited because of that. The IT uses them whenever a certain type of tickets come in, but they have to kind of switch between different consoles. There has to be a knowledge transfer between one IT agent, support agent to another, and those efforts you would have put in building those automation is not kind of really getting benefited in a big way. If otherwise, if it is given that kind of automation and a self-service to a end user's system or your service desk self-service, it will be a huge benefit. But the current state is what we see is that when we meet customers, there is some level of automation they typically have, but it is kind of limited and scattered. So when service desk investment and challenges, so when you have done so much of investment in systems from BMC, obviously there is a cost in acquiring the software. Apart from that is your service desk staff and the amount of staff which is servicing your customers, internal customers. So that is one cost, and that is not going away even after, let's say, you have implemented the service desk software. So what you get is instead of the benefit of putting up processes and automating those, what you are getting is just those processes being put in, and still the action is what is required to resolve those tickets is done manually. What it basically has impact on is, as we have seen earlier, is you are making the users wait for even the simple request or a repetitive request, which they think that should be done very fast. And if you are not able to do that, it has an impact on the CSAT, customer satisfaction. You are not able to respond to the business faster because there is a wait time. And as I said, in this world where business is trying to kind of go social, mobile, and cloud to ensure that and make the enterprise digital, what we are basically making the business user is wait here for even simple tasks. And then when the humans are basically solving, our L1, L2 engineers, they are solving the tickets, they are repetitive in nature, like password reset to share folder access to email box creation, these mundane tasks. What is that basically results into is they basically are making mistakes. So for example, some of our customers were saying that our IT solves the tickets. They say that, for example, if they have asked for a virtual machine, the machine is created, but when you try to go to a jump server or try to access the machine, the credentials don't match, and you again have to go back to IT. So this is impact on the first call resolution and frustrating the user again, because it takes iteration for them to kind of get the ticket resolved. So that is what is, despite doing the investment, there are challenges. And then when we are talking about this digital initiatives, there are more expectation from IT where there's do more with less. So because there is a pressure for economic pressure and there where the business is expecting that IT should do more with the existing or current staff. Even though their complexity is increasing, devices are increasing, or applications complexity is increasing. And most of the IT's time is going keeping the lights on. So because business users expect that whatever is the running systems are there, they should definitely be there and running and meeting the current needs and of the business. And as well as they expect that there should be innovations and new applications to be launched to compete against in the marketplace. So there is a pressure in terms of taking those new projects. But how will you do that? Because your staff is busy in keeping the lights on, majority of the staff. So that is when we look at from the IT side, there is limited staff and many L1, L2 tasks are there. Those are repetitive in nature, but because of the volume, you end up spending a lot of energies in terms of solving those tickets of repetitive in nature, and then you end up even pulling your L3 staff or a senior staff in solving those routine tickets because of the volume. So there is not enough time for innovation and the new projects, which will help ultimately the growth of the business and reskilling your L1, L2 staff so that they can basically contribute in important projects and all the funds basically getting utilized, majority of them in these repetitive tasks. So that is what the view, if we look at from IT side. So there is clear-cut gap here in terms of what business expects, what IT has, and with those limited resources, how will they be able to meet the expectation of the business? So can we kind of, at least in this overall thing, will you be able to kind of have some way where this cost can be reduced or CSAT can be improved? So some of these surveys or analysts talk about automation can help there. If you see the IT operations staff cost is around 50% of overall cost of IT. So that if you optimize on the operational staff cost, it has a very good benefit in terms of reducing the cost, part. So and if you see the personal cost in the service desk is around 85%. So if you are able to optimize and automate certain things, it can help you reduce the service desk cost significantly. And there is Gartner's basically talk about that if automation and such technologies are used, they can help you drive down the cost of services by around 60%. So there is a huge potential there to reduce the cost, and also there is a possibility of increasing the CSAT. And how is it that possible? So we'll talk about that now, is in terms of the cost reduction, how it can come. So we'll talk about ROI, what you can get from automation, and what all those scenarios where you can get benefited into. So let's try to get into that more on the ROI side. So ROI from automation is basically comes from saving your effort in doing those manual tasks which are repetitive in nature, and so that is a direct hard dollar saving, and there are other important benefits which are there, of course, but let's talk about the cost reduction as one of the benefit here. So if we talk about, let's take an example, is that there is a task which is done manually. Let's say that health check of applications and servers, and it is done, and in this, let's say in this example, there are 5 servers on which an engineer is to go and do a health check. So let's say that if individual server going there, checking CPU memory, creating the report, sharing that report. It takes around 12 minutes per server of health check. So and if there are 5 servers, we are talking about 60 minutes or an hour for that health check activity. And if that activity is to be done every day, we are talking about in a month doing it 20 times and 12 months. And let's say that there are the cost for your L1 resource or loaded cost is for per hour who does this kind of activity is $60 per hour. So we are talking about yearly saving of $14,000 plus if this activity, this single activity is automated. So that is how you will basically try to understand, basically come up with what are those tasks which are repetitive in nature, and if they are automated, how much basically you are going to save on the cost of a L1 L2 staff. So if this is how you calculate the ROI, what is that the cost or the investment which is there? And let's try to understand in traditional automation solution which are being there. The cost of automation is where there is a significant cost is in the tool cost. So and these are basically these are orchestration tools, automation tools which are designed for large enterprises. This is basically cost is prohibitively high for different verticals, and one is the acquisition cost and another is maintaining that automation. So what you are buying when you are buying the orchestration tool is a framework kind of a thing, where you need to maintain that automation. You have to build it, because what that system does is it kind of gives you adapters and basically connect to different systems, but it's not like out of box. You install it in your organization and it starts working for all the applications and systems that you might have. So you still have to have staff which will kind of develop basically the workflows and maintain those, and you have to do the application changes, and you have to basically, based on your operating procedures, make those use cases code into that system. So there is a cost of acquisition of the software, and another is the maintaining the automation cost. So what we have basically come up with as Viome Labs is a solution which is basically AutomationEdge. It acts as a virtual engineer, and that virtual engineer specifically solves incidents and performs tasks and completes risk requests which are worked upon by L1 L2 engineer in your organization. And the way we do it is we basically build the system, ensure that those use cases are working in your organization, not that this is a software and you figure out and you make the workflows and build those systems for you. So we make each of the use case which is basically you want to automate, make that work ourselves. We have a library of such use cases already built and automated, and we will fine tune that for your setup. And in case we don't have it in our library, we build it and offer it in the same model, so in a subscription model. So so what is AutomationEdge is, if I have to say in 2 words, is basically virtual engineer. And advantages is basically you have a faster response to the business. You are almost a zero wait time for business users, because the tickets are resolved, and they are resolved almost instantaneously. And there is a cost saving in terms of your L1, L2 engineers because of this being taken care by this virtual engineer. And you can redeploy your staff in your important projects. And third is the zero errors, or unlike human engineers, because machine is solving and basically resolving the incidents or service requests. So it has basically an end-to-end service desk automation. It is basically allows you to go in your path nowadays in terms of shift left strategy. How is that you can do more and more work at L3's work or L2 level or L2, L1 level, or more importantly in this case, whatever is L1 doing, how we can make it L0, where there is a self-service and a true self-service, and those remediation of incidents and are basically requests are fulfilled by users themselves, and probably going beyond that, proactively having a remediation done for the incidents. So even users don't have to report the things on the service desk. So basically even beyond L0. We have pre-built adapters, so for different service desks, Unix systems, PowerShell, Windows systems, Amazon EC2, monitoring tools or collaboration tools like Exchange and packaged applications. And we have automation built in even for packaged applications. So it is whether it is Office 365, Salesforce, or EBS or other such packaged applications. So, and we offer it as a service. So you're not investing in terms of a capex and acquisition and a huge cost to kind of go on your automation journey. You have is OPEX model, and it's a subscription and pay-as-you-go model. So you can choose to start with even as small as 10 tasks. So and basically get the return on investment and then use this as a stepping stone in your automation journey and kind of go into the specialized softwares and which are for compliances or say cloud lifecycle management, for example, from BMC. So that journey can start with these small steps, and you are able to do those and get benefited by connecting your user request to getting that fulfilled automatically. So how do you identify the automation candidates? So what you can do is you can study your service desk tickets, incidents, or service requests, and find out which are those top 10 tickets which are basically are taking a lot of time, or they are higher in volume. So and they are mundane or repetitive in nature, and very well defined way you can solve those. So that is one, and then you basically find out whether everything in that ticket or category of ticket can be automated, semi or full automation feasibility, and find out whether the automation will help you based on the investment needed and returns from automation. So let us see how is that BMC service desk and a true self-service we can basically achieve using BMC service desk. What we see is that there are, we have talked about this when there is, you have bought the service desk software, the tickets get created, either incidents or service requests, and your staff is basically resolving them manually, whether email box to be created on Office 365, or there is servers basically to be provisioned, or on a packaged application you want to add, let's say on Salesforce you want to add a user, or you want to create a virtual machine. So you are doing that manually. When you use automation and AutomationEdge, in this case, you might be using MyIT or you might be using BMC Service Desk, and it's web interface. So what users do is they send the request as a service request, or there are incidents, and what we do is, as automation can pick up those requests which are to be automated from the automation queue. So we work with you and we agree on these are the tasks which or requests which can be automated, or incidents which can be automated. So once we agree on that, if that type of ticket comes in, it is assigned to automation queue, and AutomationEdge picks those tickets and it executes those actions on the target systems. So the target system can be a EC2 machine or a server or VMware or Active Directory. So we have built adapters, as I talked about earlier, including SSH, PowerShell, web services. So essentially it can talk to Unix, Windows, Linux operating systems. It has web services adapter, so it can talk to any application, SQL to talk to your databases. It has even a web UI adapter. So let's say that some of your applications, they do not have, or your vendor is not giving you any command line or API interface, we can use the web UI and we can automate the tasks using the web UI, whatever is available with you. So, so you can basically, and the other adapters are like EC2 or Azure or Solaris or VMware. And many other. So we have a library of adapters, and the actions basically been built in those, and the actions can be provisioning a server to a server restart to a user onboarding, employee joining, employee leaving, password reset, share folder accesses. So there are many such use cases which can be automated. And if you contact us on info@viomlabs.com, we'll be able to share with you the kind of use cases we have in our library, or otherwise we can provide a consulting in terms of what kind of use cases that can be automated in your organization's context. So AutomationEdge has a reporting and analytics available with it. So where it can give you the category-wise average time and close time for a ticket. So for example, here, let's say Amazon EC2 machine, it's basically taken from some of the data for our customers and a sample data. So it can be as fast as 5 seconds, where you are able to create a machine or create a AD user, and you get a statistics that how you did in terms of automation and automating those tickets, and you can basically see how many tickets received by automation engine and how many actually closed successfully by automation engine. At times you may basically not able to do certain tasks automatically, so we handle even those errors. Let's say a user exists and you are creating the same user in your Active Directory, we put that into work log of a BMC service desk system, and so that it can be assigned to a manual queue. So you get an audit log, and you basically are seeing that all the requests which are executed by AutomationEdge, you will be able to have timestamp and who requested for that particular ticket, and how it got fulfilled, when it got fulfilled, and how much time it took to kind of get that thing done. So now we'll get into the demo where we are going to show today automation for BMC, Remedy, ITSM, and Remedy Force. And because we have limited time, we will be showing these two automations. We have other automations in place. We will basically show those who are coming to BMC Engage. We have a booth there. You'll be able to see all 4 of BMC Service Desk integrations with AutomationEdge, so including Service Core and Track It. So now I hand over this webinar this to Ankita. She can walk us through the demo of the two.
Thanks, Uday. So I'll just walk you through a quick demo. For this demo, I would be using 2 service desks to raise the service request. One is Remedy and the other one is Remedy Force. So I start with one use case of Remedy. Let's say that we have some AD user reset password. So you have forgotten your AD user password and you need to reset it. So you just log in into Remedy and click on AD user reset password. Here we accept one parameter, which is the username, which is the AD username, SAM account name. So I just give one SAM account name to, and I will just submit this request. So here you can see that this request has been submitted with this particular ID. I'll just copy this ID, and this internally creates a work order here in this case, but then you can have it to be configured for an incident also. And you can even have approvals in the middle so that the end user just cannot directly raise a service request. So if you have a level or certain levels of approvals, you can even implement that for automation. So I'll just go and search for this particular service request. I'll just click on search. So this is the work order page. So yeah. So here you can see that this particular request has already been completed. So you can see in the notes that we have new password for vauto2. This is the SAM account name which I had given. So I have this particular password. I'll just copy that. And you can see that the status is completed and the status reason is successful. And even here in the work logs, we have that it has been changed. So let us try to log in with this particular password. I have copied it. So let's just remote access the machine. So this is one of the machines in the domain where this user exists. So I'll just try and log in with this. And I click OK. So here you can see that, okay, let me just try again. Paste this. It's not getting pasted, so let me just log in again and connect. Okay, so let's move on to the next. So let's do one thing. We will just raise this one more time. So I'll just raise it one more time, and let's give the exact name. So that's vauto2, and I'll just submit this request. So till this request is submitted, I will take you through Remedy Force and how a service request is submitted from there. So I'm on the Remedy self-service page, and here I'll be creating an Amazon EC2 machine. So we have already created a service request for creating an Amazon EC2 machine. So I'll just click on that. And here we have 3 mandatory parameters. So I'll just select them. Operating system as Ubuntu, type as T1 micro, and number of instances is 1. And I'll submit this request. So once this request is submitted, if you go to the Remedy Force console, you can see it's refreshing. So you can see that the new service request will be created for an Amazon EC2 machine, and its status would be open. So we'll wait until this loads. So until this loads, let's raise another service request through. Okay, let's just wait. Actually. So the service request which we had created earlier and had completed successfully, so I have received a bunch of emails saying that this ticket has been closed successfully. So once this is done, you can go and check whether your particular task has been automated or not. So I'll just refresh this. Another way you can raise these service requests is through My IT console. So you can see here, so we have this My IT console over here where we have got all these service requests which can be automated. So as you raise it from any other service desk, you can just raise it from here, and see if I click on create EC2 machine, it will give me all the 3 set of parameters which I just passed. So you have the operating system, you have the type, you have the number of instances. So this internally will hit your service desk and it will automate the tickets for you. So let's see if this page is, yeah. So this page has been loaded, and you can see that create EC2 machine service request has been raised and its status is open. I'll just click on this service request. So here you can see that this particular service request has been assigned to a particular queue, which is called as Vyom automation queue. So this is a custom queue where all the automated requests are queued up for being automated. So once it is assigned to this queue, Vyom automation picks it up and it will complete its task and update the status of the service request depending on whether it has passed successfully or it has failed. If it has failed, it will give you a particular message. So let us check one of those use cases. So I have connected to a PuTTY to a Unix machine here, and as you can see that I already have a user called ABCD. So let's try and create another user through Remedy self-service portal and try and create a Unix user with ABCD. So let me take you to the service catalog. So I have accounts and access services. So there's some problem with the site, so just click again. Let me just refresh this page. Okay, so we click on request to service, and let me try and go to accounts and access services. And here I will try to create a Unix user. So let me give the username ABCD, which already exists, and let me submit this request. Again, the service request is submitted successfully, and if we come to the remedy force console and refresh this, you can see that create Unix user has been created. Let's click on this. So over here we can see that the queue is Viome automation queue, but here you can see that the staff is also Viome automation staff. So this means that this particular automation request has failed, and the record details, if you click on record details, you can see in action history that a user ABCD already exists. So this is how Viome AutomationEdge handles errors. So if it encounters any kind of errors, it will either add an action history and assign it to a staff in case of remedy first, or in case of remedy, you can add a work log and assign it to some specific support group. So for different service desks, you can have different set of actions set if there is some kind of an error. So let's go back to remedy console, and let's check the status of this. So let me just check the close request, and this looks to be completed now. So let me just copy this request and check the status. So let me just go to the work order console. I will search for a new work order. I will paste the request ID which I copied from there and search. So it has created a new set of passwords. So let's check whether this works. So let me just connect to the instance and give this password. And okay. It's loading now, so let's just wait until it loads. So you can see that the reset password has worked, and it has logged in successfully with the randomly generated password which is passed back by Viome AutomationEdge. The next use case I will be showing is clearing temp file locations. So basically, most of the time you have a lot of junk files in your temp, and your system becomes really slow. So you can have this activity even to be scheduled. So it's not necessary you have to raise a service request every time. You can even schedule it at some time in a day or whenever you want, and this will automatically run. So let me just raise a service request for this right now. So again, I'll go to remedy console, and we have a service request here, clear temp location. So I'll just click on that. I know the machine name, so I'll just give BMC 01, and I will submit this request. So let's go to open and draft request, and here you can see that clear temp location with this particular request ID has been created. So I'll just keep it logged in. So let me search for this service request and search. Okay, so it has not yet created a work order for it. So let's wait until it creates a work order internally. Until then, let's check the status of our EC2 machine creation. So let's go back to the remedy force console, and let me refresh this. I'll close all these things. So here you can see that the status of create EC2 machine is closed. So let's open that. And in resolution, you can see you have a set of details which has been passed on back to you. You basically have the public IP address and the username and the password through which you can connect to this particular Unix box. So let's go to the Amazon site and check whether this machine has actually been created or not. So I have this tab open. So let me click on running instances. And here you can see we have one particular instance with public IP 155.53. So let's go back to the remedy first console. And you can see it is 155.53. So this particular Amazon EC2 machine was created through automation. And it has been, so it is just matter of 2-3 minutes for this particular instance to be up and running. So the machine creation, so this process is basically you have the machine creation and then it waits until all these checks have been passed and then only it returns you the actual values. So let's check the status of clear temporary location. So let me just check this. Again, search for this work order and check whether this work order has been created. It doesn't seem to be created yet. Let's check again. So let me take this. So it is still showing initiated. So let's just wait. So maybe let's just erase it one more time and check. So let's give BMC 01 and submit this request. So it has been submitted. So let's check this. Let me just copy this ID and search it here. Just let me check again. So we'll just wait until it is initialized.
Let's because we have only 15 minutes left. Let's try to complete the presentation and so that we have enough time in terms of Q&A. So as a closing remark, I would like to say that you have already done the investment in terms of BMC Service Desk software. What we have seen is that there are limited self-service. Whatever we have seen organizations there is adoption of self-service, but it's not very common. It kind of still we have seen some of the customers sending emails and tickets being received because they see the complexity in that with BMC coming up with MyIT, and it's likely that the self-service adoption will increase, and even if that is there, and if you want to increase that, if you do automation, service desk automation, this will help you in that wider adoption and basically doing that shift left and helping users to solve the tickets themselves. It will increase the CSAT, help you reduce the cost. So these are all benefits of doing service desk automation end-to-end. As AutomationEdge, it is offered as a SaaS and in a subscription model. So you pay from your savings and you get almost immediate ROI. So that's what I would like to say. And if you are going to be there at Engage, do visit our booth 510, and you will be able to see the live demonstration and experience Vyom Virtual Engineer there. And we are demoing the integration for all service desks. So what you couldn't see earlier, you are able to see those, including Service Core, Trackit, Remedy, and Remedy Force. So now Ankita, I'll give it to Ankita so that she can show the things which were pending. and then we'll go into the question and answers. So if you have any questions in the meantime, you can type those in the chat window which is available along with the GoToWebinar, and we will have a Q&A after Ankita finishes the demo.
Yes, so we had raised a clear temporary location, so I have just requeried it again. And here you can see in notes that these particular files have been cleaned, and the status of this is closed. So let me just log into 51. And here you can see that all the junk files are gone. These two files are being currently used by some applications, so they're not deleted, but the rest have been deleted successfully.
Okay. So, so with that, we would like to get on to the questions now.
Yeah, so we have a couple of questions here. One of the participant is asking, what if the username is wrongly entered in the username field in the service request BMC?
Right.
So in this, as I told you earlier, so basically the AutomationEdge take care of all kinds of errors, and this will be returned as an error. So if you give a wrong username, no issues, it will just return back to you saying it's a wrong username, so you can maybe change the name and resubmit it again. So AutomationEdge will take care of it.
Right. Okay, so the other question is how is it offered if it is on-prem and if the software is basically you are going for on-prem option. So it is offered as a virtual machine. It's an appliance and which will sit on as a VM in your data center. In case you have the requirement of basically using this in the cloud. So we have a cloud version wherein the cloud version allows you to get the automation done, and it does it in such a way that you don't have to kind of open all your systems on the net, but it will basically have a secure mechanism of accessing your systems in your data center or your user environments. So
there is one more question over there. What are we writing the rules for automation? I mean, AutomationEdge application is a Windows only application or for other platform as well?
So so AutomationEdge is basically an appliance, as I said, and it supports, it can basically run on Windows appliance or Windows OS, or it can run on Linux OS as well, and say for example CentOS. So it can run on any virtual machine, and it supports all type of use cases, whether a target system is a Unix system or a Windows system or a Linux system, and the applications running on that, or applications like Active Directory, or if you have any specific directory service which you are using, you can go and talk to that directory service, for example, over Active Directory service. So, so to answer your question, whether it runs only on a Windows appliance, no, it can run on either Windows or CentOS or a Linux environment, and it depends on what use cases you are targeting. We might suggest to run it on Windows or otherwise.
All right, so any more queries? You can just keep popping in the chat window. We are there for next couple of minutes and we can clear those. Otherwise, we will be available on emails. You can drop us your queries at info@vmlabs.com.
The question is whether this AutomationEdge supports MyIT, and yes, it supports MyIT. Ankita has shown that the service catalog the users can be accessing the system, the self-service either through web console or they can do that through my IT. Question is, does it support systems to basically do, for example, user provisioning on Salesforce? Yes, we do support Salesforce, and you can basically create based on the profile of the user. We can help you create those users on the request, and it can get fulfilled and user getting created on Salesforce. So the next question is, how is the pricing? Is it different for on-prem or on cloud in that case? So the pricing is based on the use case. As I said, you pay per as you go, and what you basically get is a cost for activation, and another is a yearly cost per use case. And this is the same model whether you opt for on-prem or on-cloud option. The next question is, in Remedy ITSM, it is necessary to have service request module implemented. Is it necessary to have service request module being implemented? So we have seen that our customers basically, as long as you are able to send a request in a structured format, whether you use email or you use service request management or you use MyIT. If you have a way to send a request in a format, well-defined format, we will be able to execute those and automate those activities. In the case of, let's say that you want us to provide a kind of a portal for automation, we can do that in case you don't have a service request management system being implemented, or for example, some of your service desk system may not have a service request management system. For example, Trackit. We help you achieve the automation either through email system or through self-service portal. Okay, so I think we are the next few more questions. How long would it take to create automation, say for AD password reset? So it will be like 2 weeks, basically gathering the requirements and kind of deploying the system and doing the UAT. If you have a complex use case, it might take 1 or 2 weeks more, but it will be the time frame typically would be to kind of implement this automation in a 2 to 4 weeks time. So basically the question is, can you show a bit of configuration of users? So we allow you to access the appliance, and basically you can add users, administrator users, or report the user who basically does is reports, ensuring that the workflows are basically running and their statuses and things like that. So what our appliance provides is that kind of interface.
All right, thank you very much, Uday and Ankita. We are falling short of time now, so we'll have to wrap up. Thank you everyone for your patient listening, and we hope the webinar was worth your while. We are participating in BMC Engage 2015. Please do visit our booth number 510 and explore AutomationEdge as our offering in the showcase. Thank you very much. Have a good day.